Right guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got another Warhammer 40,000 battle report today. I'm playing against Eugene's Necrons with the Blood Angels. This is today's table, the battle mat supplied by urbanmats.com. Please check them out. The game today is the Spoils of War, where we steal the objective markers. So we've got objective marker 1, number 2 in the ruins, number 3 at this side of the board, number 4 on the outskirts, number 5 at this side, and number 6 tucked away nicely in the ruins at the back there. So we haven't rolled for deployment yet. We'll take you through the armies and come back after deployment. Right, so here we go. We have a Blood Angel combined arms detachment. I'm not running the Battle Strike Forces. I don't need the extra initiative playing off against the Necrons, so I'd rather take the objective secured. So we've got 2 5-man tactical squads. Each of them have a heavy flamer in a drop pod. For HQ and elites, the Warlord is going to be the Librarian, so I can take a different Warlord trait, as Astaroth isn't going to help me, and he gets to re-roll the D3, rolled on tactical. The Librarian's psychic powers are Unleash Rage, Fear of the Darkness, and of course the Primaris, which is Quickening. He is running alongside Astaroth. Actually, just to point out, he also has Galen's Staff and a jump pack, so he gets to reroll 1s in the psychic phase. We've then got 10 Death Company, 3 with power weapons and 1 with a Thunder Hammer. Heavy support, we have a single Storm Raven with multi-melter and assault cannons. Another elite's choice, we've got a Furiosa Dreadnought with a frag cannon and a heavy flamer in a drop pod. We've got 2 5-man assault squads with 2 melters each in 2 drop pods. Another heavy support, we've got a Baal Predator with 2 heavy bolters and twin link assault cannon. And finally, the Lord of War slot, we've got an Imperial Knight Paladin. He's got the large blast missiles on there, and of course the battle cannon and the Reaper chainsword. So let's have a look at Eugene's Necrons.
For troops, we have a unit of 20 Necron Warriors, followed by another unit of 20 Necron Warriors, and 10 Immortals over here. Over at Elite, we have 10 Death Marks, 10 Lich Guard with Dispersion Shields. On HQ is Orican, and a normal Overlord with a Nightmare Shroud, Void Reaper, Phase Shifter. And over for more Elite goodness is the Nightbringer, and in heavy support we have the Doomsday Ark. And for my Warlord, Orican automatically has Eternal Will.
Right, so welcome back after deployment. I managed to win the roll-off and I've elected to deploy and go first unless Eugene sees us. So my deployment, I've got a nice line of Death Company there, and I knew straight away that if I put them down, Doomsday Ark was going for them. So I baited them in and put a Knight here to start and charge up the field. Hopefully it would deter him. It hasn't, as you'll see in a moment. And then we've got the Baal Predator there, just hugging some cover. That was my entire deployment. I've got the 5 drop pods and of course the Storm Raven in reserve. Eugene's counter deployment, 20 warriors extending all the way across the table. Another 20 warriors, the 10 Immortals and the Saitan. Death Marks at the back, so I've got very little space to get my drop pods in there around the Doomsday Ark. And then over this side, he's got his Death Star of Lich Guard, Orican, and the Overlord. So, let's see if Eugene sees us. Do you want to seize?
Apparently I
will. Oh, never! Right, Necrons, turn 1. Right, so Necron turn 1. Eugene has pulled out Domination. Going to be hard for him to get. Hold the line. Very easy. And Psychological Warfare. Well, I've got 2 vehicles and a Fearless unit, so that's not going to happen. Let's have a... Right, so these guys have moved forward. Orican didn't turn into a Saitan this turn. The Immortals got a 6-inch move through cover, so they're standing right in the centre there. The Saitan has pulled sideways, looking to shoot down at the Death Company over this side. These warriors got a 1-inch move through cover, and these guys are staying exactly where they are. Just a quick note as well, it is night fighting, so we'll now move on to Necrons shooting. Right, so the Immortals here took some shots at the Imperial Knight, managed to get a single glance and passed his Iron Shield save. The Death Company here, Eugene got Sky of Fallen Stars from the Saitan and managed to kill one of the guys, failed his armor save and feel no pain. And the Doomsday Ark managed to get a direct hit with covering 4 of them due to being in the ruins and stealth. However, I only actually lost 1. So let's have a look at Eugene's points. Right, so Eugene does have Hold the Line and he's electing to discard Domination. So at the end of Necron turn 1, the score is 1-0. Right, so Blood Angel turn 1, I drew Assassinate, Big Game Hunter, and Secure Objective 4. Assassinate is not happening anytime soon. Let's have a look at the movement. Right, so I went for Objective 4 with a drop pod here, and it did scatter slightly, but it is just within 3 inches. The Furioso Dreadnought is getting out, looking to start quelling the Marines, the Warriors at this side here. The Baal Predator is pulled sideways, looking to support the Dreadnought and taking some of the Warriors out. The Knight has moved forward about 8 inches. He doesn't want to be within charge range of the Lich Guard this turn. And all these guys have just walked 6 inches and they don't need a dangerous terrain yet. Good news, Eugene cleared a hole for me drop pod to land in. And the assault squad got out with the 2 melters. And this one here scattered 4 inches back and the hull is just on the table, so he didn't mishap. And there's of course 2 melters in there as well, and they are going for the Doomsday Ark, hopefully get me Big Game Hunter. So let's have a look at the Psychic and Shooting phase. Right, so down here the Frag Cannon and the Heavy Flamer managed to mince 7 of the Warriors all together. That was with support from the Baal Predator as well. Over here, each Melter squad only got 1 hit each on the Doomsday Ark. Eugene elected to Jink, and both times I rolled a 3 with 2 dice. So yeah, that didn't happen. The Rapid Fire Battle Cannon from the Knight shot down here, and Storm Spear, Iron Storm rocket pod shot at the Warriors there as well. And as you can see, we did whittle them down. We killed 4 Immortals altogether. The Warriors and the Immortals both passed their leadership test though. So at the end of my turn, I only score Objective 4, and I'm going to discard Assassinate. Right, so Necron turn 2, and Eugene has still got Psychological Warfare. He's drew Secure Objective 2 and Dust and Ashes. Just a quick note as well, Eugene forgot to film his flyer. We have rolled for it to see if it came on, and it hasn't come on, so let's have a look at the movement. Right, so in the movement phase, Death Marks are pulled sideways, looking to start and eliminate this squad here. These Warriors probably looking at the Dreadnought, and these ones have all pulled sideways as well, looking to eliminate these guys here. The Doomsday Ark has moved forward, as have the Immortals, and the Death Star unit here hasn't moved. He's waiting for me to come to him, but Orican has bulked out, so Orican has now got the stats of a Catan. So let's have a look at the shooting phase. Right, so in the shooting phase, these guys rapid fired at the Knight, put my shield up on the front, and only got a single glance, and I managed to pass my save. Down here, all these Warriors here, 6 in rapid fire range, deleted most of the squad here, so they do need a leadership check. The Death Marks here managed to get some precision shots on the Melters, and I elected to go to ground. Unfortunately, only the Sergeant remains there, so he needs a leadership check as well. Over this side here, all the Warriors in the ruins rapid fired into the Dreadnought and managed to strip 2 wounds off him. And as a result, Eugene wanted rid of the Dreadnought at Catan, shot in with the antimatter meteor that was drawn, and unfortunately didn't do any damage to the Dreadnought. It did hit the pod as well and didn't go through the pod armor either. So we'll roll these 2 morale checks and move on to the assault phase. Right, so both the Marines over this side managed to pass the morale check, so that doesn't get Eugene Psychological Warfare. Over this side, the Catan got an 8-inch charge, and it was exactly 8 inches, and he got a single 6 on the front armor 13 of the Dreadnought. He did strike at the same time though, and the Dreadnought fortunately didn't even hit against the Catan. He's consolidated 2 inches that way, so let's have a look at the points. Right, so just forgot to mention in the shooting phase, the Doomsday Ark did flat out due to him jinking anyway. He's securing Objective 2, and he also scores First Blood as well. So Eugene doesn't get Psychological Warfare, he does get Objective 2, and he doesn't get Dust and Ashes. So that is the score at 3-1. Right, so I've drew hold the line, that's not happening. Valor of Angels, issue a challenge, that's also not happening. And Big Game Hunter, hopefully I can kill that Doomsday Ark this turn. Alright, so reserves, the Storm Raven has came on, and one of the tactical squads managed to get a direct hit there, looking to hopefully take out the remaining warriors of that squad. The Storm Raven is looking to get beaten on the Satan, and the Knight is pulled forward as well, looking to hopefully charge the Doomsday Ark and drop the battle cannon on a nice big squad of warriors over that way. Death Company passed all the dangerous terrain, looking to hopefully take out the Immortals here. Maybe try and thin them up with the Baal Predator. Let's see what happens. Right, we haven't had too bad of a turn this time. Sight phase, the Librarian cast Unleash Rage on the Death Company. I rolled 3 1s. Thankfully, Gale and Staff allowed me to re-roll, and I rolled another 1. I did get it off, however, and Eugene failed to stop it. So the Librarians lost a wound due to Gale and Staff. Over here, the Knight shot a single heavy stubber at the Doomsday Ark and obviously couldn't do anything. Shot the rapid fire battle cannon, the missile launcher, and the heavy stubber, managed to kill 5 of the warriors in that squad. And the Marines here with the heavy flamer and the bolt guns managed to take out quite a few from the squad here, and as you can see there's quite a big split between them. The melter gun that is hiding around there managed to take a pot shot, and the bolt pistols from the Death Company took out 1. In other shooting, the Storm Raven unloaded 3 missiles, the multi-melter and the assault cannon at the Satan, as well as the Baal Predator, and as you can see he's lost 2 wounds. Could have been a little bit better, but never mind. So let's move on to the assault phase after we do a couple of leadership checks. Right, so in the assault phase here, the 3 power assault guys getting 6 attacks each. Them alone managed to cut down the Immortals that were there. I was hoping for a nice big consolidation to get away from that, but unfortunately I rolled a 1. So yeah, that happened. Over here, I managed to roll a 6 with the Reaper Chainsword against the Doomsday Ark, so that has gone. That's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the cards. Right, so I do score Big Game Hunter. I don't get hold of the line. Valor of Angels, might be able to get it in my next turn, so I'm going to discard hold the line. Right, so Necrons, turn 3. Eugene has drew Dust and Ashes, Secure 5, and Code of Combat issue a challenge. So guess what's going to be happening? Right, movement phase. The flyer that you forgot about has turned up, looking to get some tasty shots in on the Storm Raven. All these warriors here pushed up, looking to probably delete the tactical squad here and possibly the drop pods. We do have a lonely Marine there, and of course the Death Star unit is going for my Death Star unit. He's going to be issuing a challenge, and I can guarantee it'll end up being Astaroth that will accept due to his invuln and multiple wounds. So let's move on to the shooting phase. Right, so shooting phase. The Night Scythe came in screeching, got 4 hits and a single pen on the Storm Raven, failed the cover save, and I lost the assault cannon. That was the weapon I wanted to keep, and I lost it. Never mind. Down here, the Catan got... which one was it? Seismic Assault, and killed 2 of the Marines. He then used his Gaze of Death, and I passed a Leadership 8 check with 3 dice. Woo! These guys rapid fired into this drop pod and caused 2 hull points, and the larger squad here rapid fired at this one, causing a single 1. Meanwhile, the Death Marks over here rapid fired into the Death Company, got a precision shot on the Librarian. He failed his lookout sir, but passed his 3 up armour, and then got 7 wounds, including a rend on the Death Company, and as you can see, no casualties were taken. So that was it for the shooting phase. The Marines there did run back 9 inches, so they had to skirt around the Catan, but he's probably going to charge them. Let's see what happens. Right, so in the assault phase here, I managed to get a few hits on Overwatch. Unfortunately, didn't cause any wounds with the Overwatch, but in combat, a single crack grenade managed to wound, and Eugene failed the save on the Catan, so he's down to 1 wound. The Marines, however, did lose 1 to the number, so that is a tied combat. Meanwhile, over here, wow. The Death Company going at the same time. There was a challenge issue between Orican and Astaroth. Astaroth accepted due to his invuln, and he took 2 wounds out of 4 that were inflicted. As a result, the Death Company hit back. I still had Unleash Rage, so at least they were getting 4 attacks each. Managed to kill 1 of them. 3 up Invun, followed by 4 res rerolling 1s, and Eugene only actually failed 1 altogether. So at least I killed 1, but as expected, all of the Lich Guard managed to cut down the Death Company. I managed to pass quite a few feel no pains, but there was only 6 of them left, and there was 7 unsaved wounds, so the Librarian unfortunately did take it, as I needed to hold him up in combat here. So yeah, Eugene gets to slay the Warlord as well. Let's have a look at these points and see what he does. Right, so down here, like I said, I had to sacrifice the Librarian, so Astaroth would actually hold them up. Let's have a look over here then at the points. Eugene still got Dust and Ashes. Secure Objective 5 he doesn't get. Code of Combat, he issued a challenge and Astaroth accepted, so he does score that. Right, so I've got Valor of Angels, issue a challenge, no prisoners, kill something, and secure Objective 6. Right, so just going back to combat here, we didn't realise, but Astaroth isn't actually fearless, and he managed to actually run away from the Necrons because he failed his leadership. Leadership would have been 3 due to losing 7. Actually, it would have been a double 1. But yeah, he failed his leadership check and ran 16 inches back to there. So obviously, being Space Marines, he does automatically regroup. We've got his movement to do, but the rest of the movement is being done. The Baal Predator has shuffled sideways slightly, just looking to hopefully pepper the warriors here and start taking them out. The other drop pod did arrive, scattered back slightly, but the Marines jumped out and they are going to secure Objective 6. And yeah, I've got 2 Marines left over that side. The Knight pulling forward as well, just looking to hopefully start and whittle down the warriors here, or possibly the Death Marks. Right, so in the movement phase, Astaroth is charging back. He's looking to hopefully issue a challenge, just get me that point. He's probably going to die, but I need that point in order to catch up with Eugene. Over this side, the Knight and the Battle Cannon, the Storm Spear, or the Iron Storm, whichever one it is, managed to take out quite a large chunk of the Necron warriors. All the drop pods as well fired, and the Marine with the melter gun, and the tactical squad over this side. Both of them have passed the morale check again. Unbelievable. Every turn I've forced them to take a morale check and both of them have passed. So the Knight is going to be charging at those guys there. We've got this combat to resolve, and Astaroth's going to be charging here as well. Right, so over here, Astaroth charged in, issued a challenge, and as expected, totally cut down before he even got the swing. We got a 6-inch consolidation move back there. Down here, the Katana, as expected, chomped through the 2 Marines. The Knight did charge at the 5 warriors there, need the 5-inch charge, and I rolled a 4. So, let's have a look at the cards. Right, so, I score Valor of Angels, and I score Secure Objective 6. I do score Objective 5 from stealing it from Eugene, as the Assault Marine Sergeant is still on it. And I don't get no prisoners. I really expected to get that this turn, if the Knight is getting the charge. I'm going to keep it, because I think I might be able to hopefully get it next turn. We'll have to see what happens. Right, so Eugene's still got Dust and Ashes, he's drew Blood and Guts, kill something in the assault phase, and he's drew Secure Objective 1. Right, so the Night Scythe has pulled sideways, looking to get a couple of shots in on the Baal Predator over there. It is going to get line of sight on the front arc, no cover, so that's not going to be good. At least it's front armor 13 though. Down here, the Catan is looking at the rear armor of the Knight. The warriors here, all shuffled forward, looking to shoot at the front. And these guys here, maybe charging, who knows. The Death Marks over there are all going to congregate around that single assault sergeant and probably blast them off the board. Let's see what Eugene does. Right, so down here, the Flyer shot down at the Baal Predator, got 2 hits even though it was twin link, didn't roll a 6, and unfortunately failed to even glance it. Over here, the Knight has taken 3 hull points. He elected to put the shield on the rear armour just in case the Catan got the Strength D weapon, and he did. Failed me in run, but thankfully he only took 1 hull point. The Warriors, lining up in front, bravely fired at the Knight and stripped him of 2 hull points, so he's down to 3. The only other thing is I expected Eugene to shoot the Death Marks at the Assault Sergeant there, but he's not. He's charging in because he wants to get Blood and Guts, so I wonder if the Sergeant can survive. Promoted straight to the first company if he does, so let's see if he does survive. Right, so in the assault phase over here, the Catan and the Knight slapped each other around. the Catan, despite getting a couple of hits, failed to glance even with Hammer of Wrath. And the Knight, despite 3 attacks with Strength D, totally missed, got 1 stomp and didn't even wound. So yeah, the Lich Guard here failed their charge in, and as expected, the death marks there managed to get 6 wounds on the Sergeant, and I only actually failed 2 saves, so he nearly held them up. That's pretty much it for Eugene's turn. We'll have a look at these points. Right, so he's still got Dust and Ashes, he scores Blood and Guts for killing the Sergeant, and he can't discard objective 1. So are you keeping Dust and Ashes?
Yeah.
Right, no problem, so he scores 1 more point. Right, so I've drew no prisoners, still need to kill something. Aerial Assault, kill something with a flyer, a skimmer. If it arrives from reserve and kills it, I get D3, and my Warlord trait, which I now no longer have, was reroll the D3. Hungry for Glory, issue a challenge. I've only got a Sergeant left. That ain't happening. Right, so the Storm Ravens came back on after it flew off last turn. It's only got a multi-melter and a single missile left, but hopefully we can take out the Night Scythe here. Tactical Marines have moved forward, looking to hopefully get some shots in on the Warriors over that side. And that was pretty much it, apart from the Baal Predator. Because it's fast, it can flat out 12. Hopefully it can get onto objective 1. I bet you it immobilises itself, since it didn't have the points for a Dozer Blade, to steal that from Eugene. So let's move on to shooting. Right, so we've done shooting and assault. Used the last missile and fired the multi-melter at the Night Scythe. It is jinking, unfortunately. Despite getting a pen, Eugene managed to jink it away. Over this side, one of the drop pods and the Tactical Marines managed to take out 1 warrior. These warriors here, with the rest of the drop pods and the melter gun missed again. Managed to kill 2 of the warriors. I was hoping again they would fail the leadership, but unfortunately they didn't. And back here in combat, we are still here. Knight failed all of his attacks, didn't even get a wound with the stomp. Eugene liked it to smash, but unfortunately rolled a 1 to hit. So that is tied combat again. The only other thing, the Baal Predator flat outed just to be within 3 inches of objective 1 to steal it from Eugene. So let's add up the points. Right, so no prisoners I didn't get, as I didn't destroy a unit. Aerial Assault, Hungry for Glory, issue a challenge. Issue a challenge is probably the least effective one I want to get, so I'm going to discard that. I don't score any points there. I am on 4 at the minute to Eugene's 6. Is it 6? And I steal objective 1, so that's 5, 6 to the Necrons. Right, so Eugene's still got Dust and Ashes. He drew secure objective 3, which I should be able to get. And he's drew Kingslayer and rolled a 3, so straight away he's on 9 points. These guys here, all rapid fired into this drop pod, and it's now gone. The death marks, one of them could see the Assault Marine there, and he's still alive. The Night Scythe flew off the table, and the other thing that happened, combat's over here. I elected to swing the D, Strength D, Reaper Chainsword at, is it Orican?
Yeah.
And managed to get a single hit every single time. Can you believe that? 9 attacks and he's only hit once. I did manage to go through his invuln, but only caused 1 wound. Orican managed to get 2 glances back in return, and then the Overlord with the War Scythe, despite being Strength 7 Armor Bane, actually only got 1 pen. The Knight has exploded, and we've got a nice, lovely, large template. So let's see where it goes.
So D's out to.
Oh, direct hit.
So that's D.
Let's have a look and see what happens. Right, so as we saw in combat, it didn't scatter, and despite some D template coming in, I rolled a 5 on the Catan, and Eugene failed his in run, so the Catan went down. I rolled a 6 on the Lich Guard. Orican and the Overlord have both rolled a 5. They looked out, sir, and then the Lich Guard passed their in run. So that is the end of that turn. Eugene does score Kingslayer, and yeah, it's not looking good. Well, now we want to Blood Angel, turn 5. Right, so Blood Angel turn 5, just adding up the points here. I do have 6s, I didn't realise I'd stole 2 from Eugene. And he's on 9. So, I've got no prisoners still. I still need to kill something. Aerial Assault, probably not going to happen. An Ascendancy, control D3 objective marker. So, the Storm Raven has had to drop to hover mode, to secure objective 3, and I can steal that from Eugene. The Tactical Marines are on objective 6, and this drop pod is just on objective 4. As a result, the Baal Predator is going to help try and take out some of the warriors here, to hopefully get me no prisoners. It's my best chance, I think. So let's move on to the shooting phase and see what damage I can do. Alright, so down here the Storm Raven took a pot shot at the Lich Guard here. It was the only thing within range and failed to hit despite being twin linked. The 3 warriors that were left here, the Baal Predator, despite the warriors getting cover saves, managed to blast the 3 warriors apart that were there. The Assault Marine that was here with the melter gun, these guys and all of the drop pods unloaded into the 5 Marine warriors that were left here, and as you can see there are no more. There's no assaults I'm going to be making, so let's have a look at the points. Alright, so I do score no prisoners, I score Ascendancy and I steal Objective 3 off Eugene, so I'm at least going to be at 9 points, plus the D3. Oh, that gives me 11 points altogether, and I'm going to discard Aerial Assault because the only thing I've got left is the Flyer. So I was on 6 previously, that's 7, that's 8, that puts me at 11. Right, so as it stands at the end of turn 5, the score is 11-11. I do, however, have Line Breaker due to that pod and the Marines being there. Eugene does not, but he does have Dust and Ashes, which will get him a point if Orican is still alive, which he is. So on a 1 or 2, the game ends as a draw. No, it's going on to turn 6. Right, so Eugene's still got Dust and Ashes, Overwhelming Firepower and Secure Objective 4. We have done the entire turn. The Night Side shot at this drop pod and only scored a single hull point. Death Marks blew apart the Melter Marine there for Overwhelming Firepower. The Overlord detachment unit and destroyed this drop pod in the assault, and Orican over this side managed to destroy this drop pod as well. I mean, he does score Objective 4, so that gives him 2 more points, which puts him at 11. Right, so turn 6, I drew Domination, Psychological Warfare and Supremacy. So, Storm Raven still in hover mode, pulled back, still securing Objective 3. The Tactical Marines moved 6 and then ran 4, cowering away from the Lich Guard. They secure Objective, is that 5? These drop pods are dead, and so is that one. The drop pod here and the Baal Predator here tried to take out the Death Marks, hopefully get Psychological Warfare, and I only managed to kill 1, which isn't enough for a leadership check. So I do control actually 3 objectives, because that one, the one back there, and this, and Eugene only controls this one. So let's have a look at the D3. I need high numbers. Yes, that's 2. Right, so Eugene's still got Dust and Ashes. He's got Assassinate, Kill a Character, and Secure Objective 2. So to get Assassinate, the Death Mark's got a 5-inch move through cover through the wreck drop pod. Looking to take out the Sergeant there. We'll have to see if he's got line of sight. The Flyer coming backwards, looking to hopefully take out the drop pod there. And the only way he's going to get to Objective 2 under there is if the Lich Guard move and then get a good run to get through to within 3 inches of Objective 2. We'll have to see if that's what he's going to do. Right, so down here the Death Marks weren't actually within range of the Tactical Marines, so Eugene elected to run them. They got a 1-inch run. The Overlord that detached got a 3-inch run coming down for the Marines, and the Night Scythe finally managed to get a glance in the pen on that drop pod, so that is gone as well, which means there's only my Tactical Marines cowering in the ruins here, which is scoring me Line Breaker. We'll have to have a look at the rest of the movement and shooting. Right, so this here determines whether or not Eugene is going to score Objective 2. We got a 6-inch move through cover for the Lich Guard, and he needs a 4-inch run move to get within 3 inches. Does he make it? No! Never! Right, so we'll move them along, and I think that's pretty much the end of the turn. We'll move on.
Orican's run. Orican.
Right, so as it stands, Eugene is on 11 points. If the game ends, he would get 12 for Dust and Ashes for Orican still being alive. I'm on 14 with Line Breaker. So on a 4+, the game continues. On a 1, 2, or 3, it's a Blood Angel victory. Turn 7. It's all to play for. Let's go and see what happens. Right, so I've got Psychological Warfare, Secure Objective 4, and Purity through Bloodshed, kill something in the assault phase. Psychological Warfare and Purity through Bloodshed isn't going to happen. Secure 4, I'll probably get, and Eugene's got Secure 2. Right, so the Storm Raven moved 12 and flat outed onto Objective 4. Unfortunately, the Lich Guard is just outside of the 3 inches, so I do score that. And the Bile Predator moved and then flat outed onto Objective 2, so I do steal that from Eugene. The only other thing that happened is the Storm Bolter there took a pot shot at Orican and did get a wound, but he passed his save. So let's add the scores up now. Right, so I have scored Secure Objective 4 and I've still Secure Objective 2. That puts me at 16 with Linebreaker if Eugene doesn't take out them Tactical Marines. Right, so here we go. Eugene's got Dust and Ashes, Assassinate, and Witch Hunter. Witch Hunter he's not going to be able to score. Dust and Ashes is a guaranteed point for him at this stage. So that'll put the score at 16-12 at the end of the game. But let's have a look and see what damage he can do. So the Death Marks came in, popped the Marines. Unfortunately didn't do enough damage. They elected to go to ground and didn't kill the Sergeant either. The Overlord detached and tried to charge in at them. And over this way, Orican charged in and absolutely annihilated the Storm Raven. It came crashing down in a massive explosion. Over this side, the Lich Guard charged in, smashed the Bile Predator to pieces. So, this is the way the game ends. The Blood Angels are victorious, with 4 Marines left standing and their dedicated transport. It was an absolute all-out slug for them, always uphill. Lots of them got wiped out, but in the last few turns the Blood Angels did prevail. Even the Knight was exploded over top of the Aquila. Quite fitting, really. So that is the end of the game. Really enjoyed playing against Eugene's Necrons. They weren't overpowered, but that thing, that unit Eugene, that's nasty. Really nasty. Managed to chump through all the Death Company as well. That was just absolutely brutal. I think if I brought the Sanguinary Guard for a 2-up armour and then with a Priest for Feel No Pain, it would have been a lot better. But I hope you've enjoyed the battle report, and check out the Burning Vehicle objective markers I got from Mark Ashworth. If you're a member of the Wargame trading page on Facebook, you can contact them via there. Quite fitting, really. Look at the Storm Raven, absolutely smashed apart by Orican as he wanders off across this world.